for joining. Let's go ahead and get started. Susan, do you want to recap us?
Sure. So let me move a few things around here. I'm bad about clicking away from Zoom without minimizing it, which means that then then it completely goes away. Okay, so having all been sent back one way or another to Hamlet, I think is where we are. The sheriff of the town, or no, I guess not the sheriff, but someone in the town, I can't remember who, was like, hey, all you newcomers, come look at this corpse that we found because you might have an outside perspective and have a better idea of what's going on with it. So we all went over there and we found the corpse of Charlie. I can't remember his last name, but he was found by his drinking buddy, who's kind of a useless, rich boy, layabout, town drunk kind of person. He had heard Charlie arguing with someone the day before, and we found Claire examined the body and kind of determined that it was likely that he had been poisoned. We found a bottle of wine that had been knocked over and were able to analyze that and found an alkaloid in it, which is somewhat uncommon. And we also spoke to Charlie's wife and his son. His wife is a candle maker who basically said that she left Charlie because he was always looking for like his next big score, and essentially it wasn't really he wasn't really a stable person to be married to. Ernie said that he often went out in the woods with his father, and it seemed like basically an okay kid about at least about his parents splitting up. I don't think either Victoria or Ernie knew about Charlie yet when we talked to them. We talked to Danny, who found Charlie, as he said that the door was locked and there wasn't any response when he knocked, when he was supposed to go over for his cup of coffee, and that's how he wound up finding the body. I already talked about the alkaloid in the wine. We talked about people in the town who might use alkaloids, and decided that both the smith and the veterinarian both might have use for those, and therefore have access to them. A smith, like the blacksmith. That's what I have in my notes anyway. And then we found out that there's someone in the woods called the Witch of the Woods, who is an herbalist of some kind, and so might be able to, I can't remember if we're like suspecting that they might have had something to do with it, or if we're just like, hey, that's a knowledgeable person, we should go talk to them and they might be able to help us. But one way or another, we're thinking of going to find the Witch of the Woods, and or going to where Charlie had been in the woods recently. He was often escorted by Connor Burns, according to my notes. So we kind of left it with, we've spoken to as many people as we can think of in town. The next step is to go into the woods in some fashion, either to go to where Charlie was last, or to go talk to the Witch of the Woods, or both, depending on time. That's all that I have in my notes. I don't know if anybody else remembers anything or remembers something different.
I think that's about right. I think we were going to see if it was possible to see where in the woods we had to go for the witch and for the other thing, and see if there was like a way to go to one on the way to the other or something like that.
Right.
I think that's how we figured that out.
Okay.
In the room upstairs, there was a chest. Wasn't the chest that had been filled with?
Yes, and the window was open.
Was it a chest or a desk?
Or a desk? Was it a desk
Oh, yeah,
drawer?
I think a desk and like the drawer had been jimmied open or something.
And the window was open. Or, oh no, the window was
Unlocked.
unlocked.
Cool.
And for Eric, I forgot my armor class.
Yes.
It wasn't. I need to write it down.
It is 16.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to put that on your sheet when I made it. Yeah, due to this ridiculously heavy suit of armor that they've given you.
Got it.
Okay, great. Thanks for the recap, Susan. I think that was pretty good. Something that I neglected to mention is, Claire, you actually have a spell called Detect Poison and Disease.
Ooh.
And that can reveal if somebody is affected by poison or disease, and can at least identify a poison. It won't, tell you where it came from or anything like that, but you can at least use it to get more information, either about the suspect or about what you've collected.
Okay.
So
Now,
yeah.
when would I just say I cast this, like I want to cast this spell? Okay,
Yeah, exactly.
got it.
Kind of related to that, under cantrips, which are things we can do, that's basically like free
Infinite. Yep.
stuff, right? Does everybody have message?
No, just
Okay.
I think just you actually.
Oh, okay. Does that mean that I can like cast messages to other people, but
Right.
they can't necessarily?
They can reply to you, but they can't
Oh, they
reply
can
to each
talk
other.
Okay,
right,
so if
yeah.
I talk to somebody, they can respond to me.
Yep, and then
And
you'd
that's-
have to talk to the next person. Yeah, if you wanted to
So I can't have
communicate.
a group text. I can only talk to one person at a time.
Exactly. Yep. Okay, so do you all want to do anything? So are you decided to head to the Witch of the Wood? You've gotten directions on how to get to where she is.
I seem to recall that's where we left off, right? And we were going to go to the Witch of the Woods.
Yeah, we were at the bar at the night, the whatever, hanging out and talking to people, and we were going to go the next morning.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Do it.
Okay, so you guys wake up in the morning, refreshed, get your breakfast, and head into the Deepning Wood. The Deepning Wood forest is fairly bright, at least around town. It's been logged fairly substantially. There is not really a trail that you're following, but there's a pretty clear direction that you're following. You're heading basically straight west through the wood to get to the Witch of the Woods hut. As you guys are going, after about an hour of travel, you're kind of cruising along. You hear a low kind of whining sound that sounds like kind of like an animal that's making some whining, sad kind of sounds. It's kind of through some bushes ahead to your right.
I have a question, because I didn't mark it down last time. I don't have the animal friendship and the speak with animals spells.
Yeah, that's right. I changed those out. Sorry.
Okay. No, I just want to make sure because I was about to, call
Yep.
it. Keep going.
Yeah, so you guys hear this kind of pathetic sound coming from some bushes to your right.
So Jane's going to start to walk over to where I hear it, but be kind of cautious about it. Like, try not to make a whole lot of noise, and also move slowly because Jane is from like a small English country town. I'm pretty sure she knows that an animal that might have been hurt should be approached with caution.
Okay, go ahead and do a stealth check.
15 plus, where's my stealth? Oh, just 15.
Okay, great. Yeah, so Jane kind of quietly maneuvers through the bushes. Jane, you part the bushes and you see a creature that you have never seen before. It's about 3 foot tall, has green skin, has long, kind of pointy back-like ears, has kind of sharp little incisor teeth, and it is stuck in a bear trap. So its foot is stuck, and simultaneously its ear is stuck, and so it's like this in the bear trap, and it looks quite pitiful. It does not spot you as you look in on it.
I'm gonna beckon the others over and sit from where I am, try to move such that they can see what I see.
Okay.
Lost
Yeah.
some of your volume, by the way, Susan.
Sorry, what?
Lost some of your volume. Oh, it's because
Okay.
you muted. Yeah. Never mind.
I'm muted because Eric and I are in the same room.
Right.
But using different, so yeah, I'll try to.
Got it.
Try to project.
Yeah, exactly. And try to make sure that I kind of talk in the direction of the microphone.
That's better.
Good. Yeah, so you all spot this this sad looking creature. He share what he looks like.
Oh, I love this part.
Got this green
Oh.
skin, kind of these teeth, these kind of red eyes. He does not have a knife in his hand.
Okay.
And
That's
he's
less cute than I was
yeah, he's not cute, not cute.
This is not
Pathetic.
Dobby.
And sad, not cute.
Gotcha.
All right, so Claire is totally gonna I think I'm very fond of Jane, but we're gonna keep going. Like, I'm gonna rush through there because I want to help this thing, and there's caution, but it's like still what's going on.
Right, but I would say it's clear that we've got to be very cautious with this thing, and before anybody else, having experience with creatures, lots of creatures that are
this looks a lot like an alien to you.
Yeah,
John.
having experienced very many experiences with things that are very similar. I know that a lot of creatures don't look like what they actually are and may seem defenseless, but can actually that can actually harm you. So I would put to the group that we should, as the smartest thing to do would be to leave it alone. But if we are going to try to do anything with this creature, that I would have to be the one to release it before we do anything and see what it does. Well, everybody else stands back, since I have a suit of armor and I've done this before.
So are you going to try to stop?
I was going to say, so Claire, are you listening to any of this? Or are you?
Yeah, I would try to stop Claire from going and say, either we leave it alone or I do it.
Grapple.
Yeah,
It depends on how determined she is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I can't call a thing on him, right?
What?
Like, I can't have him roll for anything.
Yeah, I mean, if you like, at this point, he's like putting a gentle restraining hand on. If you're like whatever and try to slip past, and then he tries to like actively grab you, then it's going to be a contest.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. All right. So
That's clear. That's clear.
All right.
yeah. So both of you roll your d20 and add your athletics to it.
Okay.
7.
Where am I? Oh, just 7.
I'm a -1 on athletics.
I was going to say 2 famously physical characters.
That's 7, which is now a 6. Congratulations.
So what was your total though?
6.
6. Oh man.
You've got -1.
I mean, again, famously physical characters. Okay. But I mean, you're both kind of bumbling about it. Like, you're both not very good at this thing. Like, there's like kind of trying to bat him off, and eventually sneaks by. Yeah. So Claire, you get up to the creature. It looks up at you and kind of smiles. It's trying to smile, but it makes this like horrific kind of expression, and then it like lifts its head up and rips its ear straight off. And so now it's still caught in the trap in its leg, but it's looking up at you smiling.
And I would say, Claire.
Okay, okay.
It's
I-
try speaking to you.
I cast, so I have comprehend languages.
Uh-huh.
So
Ooh,
what do
yeah.
I need to do?
Yeah, so you just cast it and then mark one less spell slot.
Okay. So I just, in slots expended, I just put one?
Right.
Okay. Okay, yeah, cast comprehend languages.
Okay. It is saying, thank you, kind people.
It's saying thank you. Is it still, like, is the leg still?
Yeah,
caught
the
in
leg's
trap?
still caught in the trap, but he points at his mangled ear and says, "Part of one ear tribe now."
And Lorelai is saying, "This thing speaks English? The hell?"
You guys all hear "Gak, gak, gak, gak."
So, yeah, so I think I am, well, I'll do it in character. It seems that it's quite happy about being a member of what it calls the One Ear Tribe. I guess, so if I can comprehend languages, but it doesn't mean I can
You
speak.
can also speak to
Oh,
it.
I can
Yeah.
speak to it, okay. So I'm going to, well, you're quite welcome. Would you like us to help you with your leg?
Kind of nods excitedly. Claire?
Okay.
Yeah.
Claire's gonna stop you because I would want to do the detect evil and good spell before you do that.
Oh, yeah. So that doesn't really detect intention of
Okay.
the creature. That tells you if it is inherently like a demonic or angelic or a fairy or some kind of spirit sort of thing. On a mortal creature like this, it's really not going to tell you very much. But you could do an insight check
Okay.
to see if it may be trying to dupe you or somehow deceive what's going on here.
Okay. Let's do it. 9. 12.
Okay. I mean, it seems genuinely happy that it ripped its ear off. It seems unhappy that it's caught in the leg trap. Like, it's clearly in pain. You know enough about suffering that you're like, okay, the ear, it's fine. The leg, it's hurting.
Okay. All right, Jane, I think you should keep talking to it and we should try to get it out.
Well, how did you come to find yourself in such a predicament?
Godix saw trap and knew he could get ear in trap and get ear torn off, but then trap caught leg, and that was bad.
Oh my! So you did the ear thing deliberately.
Join One Ear Tribe.
Jane, could you ask it what the One Ear Tribe is?
Tell me more about the One Ear Tribe.
It's great tribe of goblins. Best tribe ever.
I think at this point we can just assume that I'm
You're translating back and forth, yeah.
Yeah, I think we don't have to do that in character.
That's
anymore.
fair.
Yeah.
Are you guys gonna do anything about the leg trap, Claire?
Ugh.
Of course you are.
Excuse me?
I just said you are. Of course you are.
When you still think otherwise.
So I gotta ask: is this Louis and Kira, or is this Jean Luc?
I think
I think it's kind of
you know, either one.
I think it's.
They're not crossing their
that's what you're
fingers.
saying.
No, I feel like John would totally butt heads with Claire.
Absolutely.
do.
And once
Oh, I
again,
agree.
this is not black and white. This is not clear cut. You
No.
don't know what will happen when
Yeah.
you release. And clearly, we are not the only things that this goblin will interact with in the future. He's probably going to have friends come by. You know what? We can come back this way after we're done talking to the Witch of the Woods and see if he's still there. It's not like he's gonna, starve to death in 2 hours.
Well, what if we help
I mean,
him?
he is bleeding and he's in pain, but
He's
So
bleeding.
Lorelai
he's
is
in pain,
staying,
and
like-
it's actually, you guys know it's a day's journey to the Witch of the Woods, so it's going to take you all day to get there.
It'll take us all day to get.
What would you say? Would you just say just leave him?
I would say we could let him out, but we've got to leave immediately. We can't delay and try to sit here and treat him. We've got to go.
he does seem quite grateful to us. Based on, let's see, do I have anything that,
Nice lady help with leg? He asks you, Jane.
Yeah, he could be a manipulative little liar. We're not really sure.
I've been burned before.
Well, can't you just be on the guard with one of your fancy lasers?
Sure.
Okay, I'm standing behind John Luke. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I have my phaser ready.
Perfect.
okay. All right, so I guess so it's down to Jane and Claire to deal with this
Yeah.
trap then, is that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are able to open it, without too much difficulty. It's tight, but you know how these things operate. So
Okay,
you're-
I have a suggestion. Is there any way that we can constrain him safely, but let his leg out so that he's not bleeding and in pain, but so that he can't also attack us as soon as he's free?
Doesn't somebody have rope? I thought somebody did. Don't you have something?
if anybody has like an adventurer's pack,
I have a priest's pack.
Yeah. I have a scholar's pack, which I can't imagine involves rope.
yeah.
I can stun him with the phaser, actually.
I think Lorelei has some rope in her pack.
What I have thieves. What is rapier?
That's a sword.
Oh, that's
Like
a sword. Okay,
musketeers.
I have light armor,
Yeah.
crossbows, short swords, thieves' tools.
Oh, you have a burglar's
Sometime-
pack.
A
The burglar's pack has
burglar's
rope.
pack.
Yep.
Ah, okay. So like, and Jane, if you could explain to him, I'm sorry, but just until we know that we can trust you,
Mhm.
we still want to restrain you to protect ourselves, but we want to see if we can get you out of pain. So we're gonna tether you, and then we're gonna set your leg free.
Yeah.
Do I have to roll anything?
No, because Jane's the one talking to him. So what do you say?
Yeah, I guess I do. I think actually what I do say is my friends are a bit nervous. You see, we're visitors to this place and we don't really know how things work just yet. My friends have asked me to let you know that we are going to help you. We're somewhat nervous about meeting new people, so we're going to very safely.
Goddick no hurt. Goddick no hurt you. You're a nice lady. You let Goddick out.
Well, that's very kind. We're not going to hurt you. We're going to put this rope around you just so that we can safely get your leg out.
He looks apprehensive. Lorelei, go ahead and roll a sleight of hand for this tying not securely around Goddick.
Let's see. So 6. Sleight of hand. 6 plus 4, 10.
10. Okay, passable. So Lorelei knots around kind of the other leg and like a hand to like semi hobble him. And then Claire and Jane, you open the trap up, and he pulls his leg out and kind of rubs it and kind of puts his hand over it. He looks kind of pitifully up at you guys, like he's kind of tied up now. He's like, got it go.
Why don't you ask him what he's doing here?
Well, he told us that he deliberately put himself in there to join the one-ear tribe.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I buy that.
Jane, could you ask him how far away this one-ear tribe is? I mean, can't he walk there himself? Well, is his leg tied up too? I think.
Yes.
We tied him. I mean, we could also just tie it in a knot in such a way that it'll take him a while to let himself free, and in the meantime we can all get away.
That's more or less where he's at now.
Well then.
So what do you guys think of that?
Well, I want to heal him.
Oh, you want to heal? Okay.
And since he is partially restrained at the moment, it would be she can do it quite safely.
Of course
Yeah.
he can.
Yes.
I'll give her that. Yeah.
Anybody have
And-
food or water we can leave?
Oh.
You
Okay.
guys have some like travel rations, yeah.
We'll leave him some travel rations and then.
And he will be in our debt at this point, so I think there's even less of a reason to believe that he might harm us once we assist him in such a fashion.
As you guys are having this conversation, Goddic points through the trees and says, "Ah, look out!" And you all look and turn and see some kind of small, unpleasant-looking creature. It's about a foot tall, maybe a foot and a half tall.
Like getting worse.
Yeah.
And there's 8 of these things that have come sliding through the trees, apparently drawn by all your discussion and argument with Goddic. And they are going to attack you. So I need everybody to roll your initiative, which is your D20, and add what your initiative is, which is near the top of the page in the middle.
Oh, Lord.
I don't really understand what initiative is, honestly.
Mine's
It's basically how quickly you're able to react to a situation.
Okay.
Let's put it in the chat.
You just tell me, there's not that many of you.
Okay, 11.
mine was 3.
3,
18.
18.
Are we all doing that?
Yes,
18.
18 as well. Okay. And
Lorelei.
she's a little more dexterous than Jean-Luc, so she goes first. So Goddic says, "Look out!" You guys turn and see these creatures approaching you through the woods that are obviously going to attack you. Lorelei, you are the first to act. You do have a rapier, which the locals gave you to defend yourself with.
Yeah, I also have crossbows. Is that
Yes.
this? Okay.
That's
So,
that's shooting crossbow.
Yeah, because I'm up for any adventure as long as I get to have a cute outfit. So I made sure that I brought all that with me because it really went with my outfit.
Nice.
And so when I start seeing these guys, I start pulling out arrows and start shooting it at them.
Okay, great. So you pull out your crossbow, aim at the closest one. Go ahead and roll your to hit, which is your D20 plus your crossbow skill or your crossbow bonus.
All right, so 13. Where do I find a crossbow bonus?
Oh, I don't see a crossbow on your character sheet. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So if you're looking at the bottom left, those are the things that you know how to use.
But not. So
but
where
you
would be
don't-
things that I have?
Yeah, the stuff in the middle is what you actually have on you. So you could like throw one of the daggers at it.
So the stuff in the middle is the equipment. Okay, gotcha.
Yes. Yeah, your equipment.
Oh yeah. Oh, and the leather armor. Yeah, that's really cute. So I took the daggers and I went.
Okay, great. So if you throw your dagger, you have a +4 to hit. So roll your D20 and add 4 to it.
Okay, I did that and it was 13.
Okay, that one of the daggers sticks into the thing, and then your damage for the dagger is 1d4, which is the little pyramid guy.
Ooh.
Oh, are you excited?
I roll him.
Yes, and you
Sorry.
add 2 to the roll.
You're is really excited to use the other dice.
Oh, which side do I look at?
Can you hold it up for me? It's probably the bottom number.
Oh, the bottom number. That makes sense.
Whatever one is the same all the way around.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So the numbers are 1, 3, 4, and 3.
So, but when you rolled it, which one was?
So on this one,
Show me wait.
the one's on the bottom. So that would be a 1.
Oh, you mean if it's facing me? Like I roll it and then whatever's facing me?
Whatever's on the bottom. So here it's a 4.
Whatever number is on the bottom.
There it's a 3.
When it lands
There
on
it's
the
a 1.
so the one on the bottom should be the same on all
3
3
sides.
sides. So that's how you know that that's the number.
Oh, okay. All right, let me do it again then. So 4.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. You hurl a dagger at one of these creatures. It sticks it right in the throat and it gurgles and flops back dead. There are only 7 left.
First kill to Liz.
First kill to Liz.
Do I go next since I had the?
Jean-Luc, yes, you are next.
So I say, of course, and then I aim my phaser at the
Okay.
next closest one.
Yep,
What do? I do the D20 first?
exactly. Yeah, D20 and then add your phaser to hit bonus.
Oh, okay. 4 plus 2 is 6.
6. Okay, you kind of zot the ground right in front of the thing, and it kind of skips back a little bit, missing it. Jane.
I am going to very quickly free Godok
Okay,
on
that's
the
an object
assumption.
interaction, so he's free.
Okay, on the assumption that if he's loyal to us, he's going to help us, and if he's not, he's going to run. So we're no worse off.
Okay.
Potentially better.
Mhm.
And then do I still have something that I can do?
Yes, you have your action, so you could cast a spell or you could attack.
How far away are they from us?
They're kind of all around you at this point. They're like 10 feet away.
Okay. I don't think I have any spells that are going to
You
help.
do have sleep, which is probably your
Do I?
most combat effective spell.
I do. Oh, I see what happened. Like I don't have it marked, so I wasn't really paying attention to it.
Yeah, I
So
changed your marks.
Okay.
Yeah. Based on what you're doing that day. So if you're like
okay.
going into the forest expecting danger,
Uh-huh.
I would expect you to have sleep and fog cloud and comprehend languages prepared.
Cool.
If you're in town doing investigative stuff, I would expect you to have like identify, detect magic, those kinds of things prepared.
Gotcha. Okay. And how many can I have prepared?
4.
4. Okay. Okay. So yes, I cast sleep.
Okay, so that is 5d8.
Cool.
Share these guys here. I'll give you 3 of them.
So Raphael's very interested in dice because it sounds to her like food. So she's really excited now. Okay, so
add those together.
okay, 12.
And then roll 2 more.
Well, 13, 13, 15.
15. Okay, so Jane steps back, mutters something under her breath, and 3 of the creatures fall asleep.
Ooh.
There are only 4 left that are conscious. The ones that are asleep are in fact sleeping. They will wake up if they take damage or are jostled, etc., by their friends. Claire.
Okay, so I'm going to run over to Goddard, and I want to fix him completely so he can help us entirely.
Okay, great.
So do the cast of Cure Wounds.
Yep, cure wounds, great. So I think that's a 1d8, and then you add your wisdom, I believe,
Okay.
which is 3.
Oh. 4.
4. Okay. Goddick doesn't have that many hit points anyway, so he is full up. So you touch him, and his leg wound heals, his ear heals, but of course it was effectively amputated, so it seals over. So he's just kind of covered in blood at this point, but he is good to go. And he will go next round. So the Boggans close with you, and they have these sharp kind of talons. They reach out and try to slash and cut you. Lorelei, one of them attacks you and hits. You take 2 points of damage, so you go from 10 hit points down to 8 hit points. Jean-Luc, one of them attacks you and misses. Jane, one of them attacks you and misses. And Claire, one of them attacks you and misses.
Woo!
And the 3 that are asleep are still asleep. And Goddick is going to enter the initiative on 13. Okay, so back to the top. Lorelei, you get to act again.
Oh, so I get to try something again?
Yes.
Okay.
You have another dagger you can throw, or you can stab it with your rapier.
Or I have a rapier. Yeah, I think I'm pissed now because one of them, you know, attacked me.
Okay.
So I do this, like a big slash at one of them with my rapier.
Nice. All right, roll to hit. So that's your d20, and you're going to add 4 to this.
1.
Oh, you go to slash it, and as you do, you didn't realize there was a tree behind you. The tip of your sword sticks in the tree behind you, and you're like,
And I'm doing
"Get
this.
out."
And I'm going, damn it.
Jean-Luc.
I think I did exactly what I meant to do by missing and scaring the one last time, but I'm happy to have avoided serious injury, and I use my phaser once again.
Okay.
It's a 1.
It's a 1, so you got it out, and you're like, how do I adjust the settings on this thing again? And you're like trying to reset it for like kill, and you just totally drop it, and it falls into the dirt, and you pick it up.
And I roll my eyes and go, okay, boomer.
Okay, Goddick picks up a nearby tree limb and tries to, holy crap, smash one of the things, and he rolls a natural 20, which means that he just pulps one of these things with a tree stump. And yep, Goddick. Jane.
Oh, good. He is an ally. Okay, so I think I'm out of spell slots.
You should have at least one more.
It says I've got 2.
You have 2, and you're like, oh, you cast comprehend languages. I'm
Yes.
sorry, that's right. You are out of spell slots.
Okay. How far away from me is the closest one?
It's right in front of you.
I'm gonna swing with my quarterstaff.
Alrighty.
Roll 20.
Yes.
And do I add? What do I add? to
You
it?
have a
Anything?
+1 to your attack with the staff.
Oh, I see. Okay, yes, that's a 13.
Okay, that hits it.
Okay, great. And so I need a D6.
6. Yeah, I got that one for you.
And I subtract 1 because
Yeah, 'cause
I'm just not very good
you're
at the
very
quarterstaff.
No, you're plenty good. You're just very weak.
Okay, so that's 2.
2. Okay. All right. You hit the one that's closed with you, and kind of bash it in the side, but it kind of rolls with the punch, and is still up. Anyway, it took some damage, but it's still up. Claire. So yeah, you killed Goddick. He is participating in the battle. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna run over to the one that's attacking Jane and use mace on it.
All right, great. Roll your hit.
It's a mace, not
A mace.
Although that would be pretty awesome.
I do the 21, right?
Yes.
Oh, chill. And which one do I do again?
the attack.
What is my brain?
Attack bonus. That's 2. No, 3 total.
Did you roll a 1?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the 3rd one that round. That is amazing. That's just the most stellar round ever.
Last time we had all 20s.
So yeah, Claire. I mean, I don't know. Is Claire? She probably doesn't have that much proficiency with weapons, so she gets out this mace thing and just like completely fumbles it, and it splats into the ground at her feet, and she also kind of picks it up. All right, the bad guys are good.
But what she lacks in dexterity, she has in spirit.
There you go.
Yeah, she's pretty feisty.
All right.
Yes.
Lorelei, 1 attacks you and hits for 2 more points of damage. You are down to 6 hit points.
Oh.
I'm really pissed now.
Jean-Luc, this one that is attacking you also hits you for 2 points of damage. You're down to 9. And Jane, the one on you, swings and misses. Okay, back to the top, Lorelei.
Okay. Thieves' tools. What do you think is in my thieves' tools, other than rope?
Yeah, that's stuff to like pick locks and that kind of thing.
I do have one more dagger left.
You do have one more dagger, yes.
Yes, yeah. So I think I'm pulling out that dagger
Okay.
and I'm throwing it at the next one that's coming at me.
Okay, absolutely. So roll your hit.
8.
8, and you have a +2 dexterity, and then you have a +2 proficiency. So you add 4 to that. So that is a 12.
12.
Great. Yeah, you hit it this time. And you are also, since you have an ally next to you, you also get your sneak attack damage. So you roll the 4-sided dice, and then you also roll the 6-sided dice and add it together.
The 6. Let's see. Counting sides. Which one is?
The 6,
Oh, wait.
is the usual.
Yeah.
Like
And
a
there's
normal
2
dice.
4-sided ones.
Oh, there are.
There's one that looks like regular dice, like this.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 6-sided. Yes. Yeah, you can use either one.
Oh, this is 6. So this is
Yep.
6. Stuff.
Yeah, 6-sided one is a regular one.
Yep. So the
A regular
pyramid
one.
and the regular.
Oh, the pyramid. Okay. So 2 on the regular dice,
Okay.
and 3 on the 4-sided one.
Okay, great. You hurl your dagger, and same as the first dagger you hurled, you skewer the thing straight on, and it flops back lifeless.
Woo!
Jean-Luc, you figured out that phaser?
I say, well done, Lorelei.
And I try to give you a high five, and you don't know what that is, and leave me hanging.
What is that?
You're like, what?
So I aim my phaser again,
All right.
hopefully not futilely. How many are left standing on a stick?
There's 2. There are 2 still up. One of them's already hurt.
Okay. I aim at the unhurt one.
Okay.
I suppose.
Ah, 17.
19.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That definitely hits the thing dead center. Roll your damage. So now you're rolling the 8-sided dice for damage.
Oh, sorry. We were very distracted.
Yep.
It's 8-sided. Oh,
Yep.
that's 10.
Damn it.
I need 8.
Yeah, the 8-sided are the kind of diamond-looking ones.
That's not-
3.
3. Okay. You hit it and you burn it, injuring it horribly, but it is still alive.
Okay.
Ugh.
Things are tough.
Okay, Got It goes. He Got It just starts going to town on the ones that are asleep and just like crushing heads, just like. I mean, he's cute, but that doesn't mean he's nice.
Yeah, I think he's psychotic.
Great ally.
You definitely want to stay on his side.
Okay, Jane.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to swing that quarterstaff
All
again
right.
at whichever one is. Okay, so wait, which one? So there's the one that's very okay. So basically, they're both of the ones that are still up are
Yep.
both hurt.
They're both hurt.
So I'm just going to do whichever one is closest to me.
Yep, there's the one that you hit. It's right in front of you.
Okay, so D20 first, right? Okay. Plus what? 9.
9. Yeah, not enough. You swing and this thing's too short. It kind of ducks under. Claire? Mace?
At this point, oh, Mace.
Well, I don't know. It's up to you.
Claire's pissed at this point. She is over this drama.
She has a sling too.
But I
Mhm.
figured, is that a sling like a?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, let's try that then.
Okay.
That's. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you're a little. You're not as good with the sling as you are with the mace, actually.
That's true. Yeah, forget it, Mace. I have to
Okay.
check that. I'm pissed.
So you're gonna mace somebody.
But it's the 4.
So roll your 20-sided
Roll
dice
it 3
first.
first, and then if it's good
Yeah,
enough,
to see if you hit.
That was 7.
so you get a 9. She's a 9.
9. Yeah, same as Jane. You swing. You didn't drop it this time, but the thing is too small. It kind of ducks down. Okay, so Jean-Luc, the one on you, tries to claw you again and misses. Jane, the one on you, tries to claw you, trips and face plants. Back to the top, Lorelei. So you've thrown your 2 daggers now, taking out
Only
1
2
with each of them.
daggers.
The last dagger you threw is right at your feet, so if you wanted to pick it up and throw it again, you could.
You know, I also could pull the rapier out of the tree trunk
Yes.
and try using that again. Why don't I
Yep.
think I'm going to do that because
Okay.
I could really do some damage with that
Definitely.
if I don't screw it up. So
So it's a
the
D20.
D20. 11.
11. Yes, you just barely skewer the thing, and you roll both your D8 and your sneak attack, which is your 1d6. So your 8-sided dice and your 6-sided dice.
That's the 8-sided.
Oh.
Looks kind of like a diamond.
The diamond.
Yep.
So the diamond is a 6.
Ooh.
And which one is the 8?
So you just did the 8, so that you just got the normal one.
The 6-sided.
The normal one?
Uh,
3.
All right, you lop this thing's head off. It goes sailing into the air, into the bushes. Totally dead.
Whoa.
There's only one more that Jean-Luc injured last round, and Jean-Luc, it's your turn.
I say, bah! my best French scream. 3. Oh my
Whoa.
God. 5.
Yep, not enough. You phaser off into the woods.
All right.
Got it. Crushes another fairy skull. And you. And you. There's
Those are the ones that are asleep, right?
there's one more asleep.
Okay.
Jane.
Quarterstaff for
Okay.
the.
On the one that's
the one
attacking
that's
Jean-Luc. Great.
Yep. Okay. 17.
That definitely hits.
1.
That's just enough. Jean-Luc injured it severely. You nail it, taking its feet out, and then come around and smash the thing on the back, and it is dead. So you guys are effectively out of combat. Does anyone want to stop Godic finishing off the last one that's asleep?
No,
Okay.
I'm enjoying that immensely.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
my personality trait is I won't tolerate violence between sentients. Are they both sentient?
You don't think so. You think that these creatures they didn't bother talking to you.
Wild.
They just attacked you. So
All right. Then I just stare disapprovingly, but
It seems to be keeping him happy, and you do want him on our side, we've established. So I suppose we'll leave him to it.
What Jane said.
he smashes the last one. As he does so, you notice all of the bodies of these creatures briefly flicker in sort of a golden light, and you notice that where the bodies have fallen forms more or less a circular shape, and a golden ring of light appears where all their bodies are, and it contracts down into a single golden ring, which falls at your feet amongst you.
Oh, Claire would say Jesus H. Roosevelt Christ. That's
And I'm saying WTF.
I say, huh.
Jane grabs one of her many clean handkerchiefs and very carefully picks it up.
Okay.
And I am going to, I guess, roll investigate.
Probably Arcana.
Arcana?
Yeah. Since,
Okay, that's fine. They're both the same.
Okay.
And that's a 20, right?
Yep.
Oh, net 20.
Whew, so what's your total?
25.
25. Okay. So you pick this thing up with your handkerchief. You detect that it is in fact magical in nature. You're not sure what type of magic it is. You know that you strongly suspect it's a magic ring. You activate it by putting it on.
is there a way for me to determine whether putting it on would be dangerous?
Not without identify,
Okay.
which you do have, but you
I
don't have
have,
spell
but I'm not a
slots.
spell slots. Okay.
Oh, you could cast it as a ritual though, since it's a ritual spell. So you could take 10 minutes if you wanted to camp out here in the forest and identify it.
Okay, so what I conveyed to everyone is, well, it's definitely magical. I don't know what it does, and I think it would be dangerous to put it on without knowing that. I think I can find out what it does, but I'll need some time. I can either do it now, or once we've all had a chance to rest and get our strength back, I can try doing it later on.
Couldn't we just do both at the same time? Rest while you do that?
Do both what at the same time? Oh, rest while?
I mean, I don't know how injured are you?
I think Lorelai's the most injured. She's
Right.
down 4 hit points. She's down to 6.
Yeah.
And what I was talking about is I can't use any spells until I'm not hurt, but I can't use any spells until we take a rest.
But we should rest first and then do that, is what you're suggesting.
Well, while you're resting, I can heal Lorelai.
Or while I'm doing the identify ritual. So how long is a rest?
So a short rest, so a short rest is an hour,
Okay.
and that would allow you all to recover some damage. You would recover 1 level of spell slots
Okay.
over a short rest, and then the identify, doing it as a ritual, would take 10 minutes. So if you wanted to do both of those things, you would have a 70-minute just kind of chilling out in the forest here.
So, but what I think, what I'm going to suggest is that we take the time for me to do the ritual, and Claire does. Is there stuff that she can do without taking a rest?
I think she has 1 more spell slot, so she can
Okay.
use that to heal her.
Yeah. Now,
Okay.
my detection of evil and good, or from that could that apply here?
For the ring, let me see. That's a good question.
I mean, I'm not sure it's very necessary since Jane could really do her thing in 10 minutes or in an hour.
Yeah, I mean, it might be more useful for you to use your magic for healing.
So alternatively, we could keep moving and then just do this later on.
Yeah, but Lorelai's gonna be hurt.
Well, you still have 1 spell slot left, so you can heal her with that,
Mm-hmm.
And
right?
it doesn't take, and it wouldn't take us time, right?
And that's like 6 seconds. That's just, yeah.
So essentially, we can spend 10 minutes for me to find out what this does now, or we can keep moving and I can find out
Right.
later on.
I say we might as well take the 10 minutes. You heal Lorelai, and then let's get moving.
Again, it's not going to take time. Like the 10 minutes would be for me to identify the ring. It's not going to take any time for.
Yeah, Claire can just do the healing whenever. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, so yeah, Claire, do you want to use your last spell to heal Lorelai?
Yes.
Okay, so your minimum is 4, and that's what she has. So she is all healed up, back to 10 hit points.
Yay.
Okay, Jane, you finish your ritual after 10 minutes, and you discover that this is a ring of shielding, which is if you put it on, and if you get attacked, you can wave your hand, and your armor class goes up by 5 for that
Nice.
round. So it's a short-term defense, and you can use that once per encounter, so once per combat, basically.
Okay. Who has the worst armor class?
You do.
I
You're at 10. Claire's at 13. Lorelai's at 13. Jean-Luc's at 16.
Okay. So this would be very useful as a shield device. If no one objects, I will hold on to it at the moment, primarily because I feel that I am the most vulnerable of all of us and might benefit most from it.
Well played.
Yes, I agree.
Hey, Eric, when we get hit, what are we subtracting from when we take damage? The hit points?
Hit points, exactly. Yep. So that's in that current hit points section. You can track. I'm also tracking it on my Excel sheet, so I'll try to keep you updated if there are changes.
Good.
Okay, Jane. So put Ring of Shield on your equipment. Parentheses once per encounter. Okay. As you guys are doing that 10 minutes, Goddic is kind of cruising around, and he comes back with some mushrooms for you, Claire, and he offers them up. He kind of nibbles some himself. The duration on your comprehend language is past at this point.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he's just
So
muttering at
he's
us
like,
now.
"Dak."
Okay.
Oh dear, I don't understand him any longer.
Okay.
I would remind you that that means nothing. Whether or not a goblin can eat mushrooms has no bearing on whether you can eat mushrooms.
Well, it's a good thing I'm smarter than the goblin and I have an herbalist kit and I can check out what it is.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Go ahead and roll investigation.
Sorry. Investigation. Oh my god, 3.
3. Yeah, who knows? Could be edible, could be not.
Perhaps we could
Then you say,
accept them so as not to insult him and
Hold them.
hold on to them until we're able to determine whether it's safe.
Totally. Thank
Okay.
you so much, guys.
Yeah,
"Is it
definitely.
Goddic?"
Got it. Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Thank you,
Goddic.
Goddic.
Cool.
Okay. He
It
smiles
may
this
come in handy
toothy.
later.
He
Yeah.
smiles this toothy smile, and then he heads into the forest, and he kind of waves over his head and trots off.
Oh,
There he goes.
I was really kind of getting fond of him.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys finish your ritual and head off in the direction of the Witch of the Wood.
Are we going to collect all our weapons so that we can use them again if we need them?
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, you get your daggers back. Everybody has everything.
Do I
set.
get phases back?
It doesn't run out of juice, so.
Yeah.
You guys headed out in the morning. It's only been about an hour. You keep on going. You get to lunchtime. You kind of settle in, have a little bit of a snack. And as you're having your little lunch break, you hear a couple of voices that are apparently raised in song coming your way. These kind of piping, high-pitched song as well.
I would take cover and watch to see what's happening.
Yeah. I'm with Claire.
Okay, so go ahead and everybody give me a stealth check, please.
It's stealthy.
9.
Oh, mine is 17.
Mine is 12.
Okay, great.
11. I'm 11.
Okay. So you guys kind of scamper and hide. And you see coming through the forest 2 short creatures. They kind of look like small humans, almost like people with dwarfism. They're about 3 feet high. They've got kind of simple clothes on. They've got boots that have kind of the curly tips on them. Their ears are ever so slightly pointed. They're both bald. They've both got 2 mugs in their hand that they're drinking from, and they're kind of stumbling. Claire, you spot no problem. These are a couple of drunk, short creatures. They're singing just like gibberish. It sounds like this. La, 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 la. It doesn't even sound like language. They're just like having a good old time.
Okay.
They are disadvantaged because they are drunk. One of them pauses and points at the bushes that you're hiding in. And the other one points at the bushes as well. They seem to have spotted you. They raise their mugs to you and they seem happy.
I would get up immediately and just start screaming, "Where's the Witch of the Woods? Do you know where the Witch of the Woods is?"
Screaming.
Ooh.
Screaming, but like, talking with my hands up so they know I'm not a threat.
Okay. They so you talk at them. They it's difficult to know if they understand you. They don't seem to be very interested in what you're saying. They just seem to be like short, drunk assholes.
Ugh.
I'm tempted to just like try to let them go on their way and get them away from us.
Agreed.
If they're not interested in us.
I think since they've seen us and Claire has spoken to them, that
Yeah.
Jane at least will be kind of standing up in a non-threatening way, but not really engaging with them.
One of them trips over a tree root, and falls on his face, but saves his mugs. Like he barely sloshes. His buddy kind of helps him up. They have a few more drafts after off their pints. They kind of stumble around, look at you. Yeah. And are you guys not going to engage them?
Jane, can you do that translating thing again like you did before?
I don't think I can until I've had some time to rest. Although, how long have we been?
Yeah, I guess for your lunch break you can
Yeah.
had a short rest.
Okay.
So you
So I
get
just get one back?
one spell slot back. Yeah.
Okay, but that's enough to do comprehend languages. Sure, I'll
Uh-huh.
try. Actually, wait, can I do something to, like, inside or something to even try to figure out if this is a language or if I'd be
Uh-huh.
wasting a spell slot?
Yeah, do investigation.
Investigation. Okay, oh, excellent. Unless you roll a 2, in which case it's 7.
Even with that, I kind of told you guys initially it sounds like gibberish. It really does sound like gibberish. Like there doesn't seem to be any coherence to it. They just seem like they're having a good old time, just like making noises, like la 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 la. Like I don't know baby stuff, but like when babies start to get verbal, they're like ah, like they're just
Hey,
using
look
their
what I
mouth.
learned how to do.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
So
Okay,
translation
yeah,
may
so-
not help. Okay.
Yeah, so I will convey to Lorelai, I could, but I don't think it would be helpful.
Why don't we just try to find where they came from?
How would we do that?
Maybe walk in the direction that they came from.
Oh, well, we do know the direction.
Oh, that's right.
We know where the Witch of the Woods lives.
Yeah,
Right.
get it. I want to get there. Let's move on.
Are they heading, where are they heading? Are they?
It's unclear. They came from the north
Mhm.
in a really like stumbling sort of pattern, and now that they've encountered you, it seems like they're just like hanging out here at your lunch clearing. Yeah, they're like, hey, there are other people here, great, and they're
Okay,
just
yeah.
like drinking and causing havoc.
Okay, so the people who annoy us at Brewfest,
Uh-huh,
getting drunk and being like, I'm just gonna hang out here with you and not pick up on the
Yeah,
cues that you want
yeah,
to-
right. Not
Gotcha,
picking up,
gotcha.
not picking up on social
I
cues.
know these guys. Okay. So I'm going to suggest that we keep going on our way and just sort of ignore them. If
Try
they
to
want-
lose them.
Yeah, if they follow along, as long as they don't start threatening us, you kind of let them do their thing, but don't let them stop us from continuing on what
Right.
we're focused on.
Right. It
Cheers.
doesn't appear that they can help us.
Jean-Luc, you say cheers, and they kind of like self cheers.
They're at least entertaining.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys continue on, kind of pick up your stuff that you'd laid down. The two creatures don't follow you. They kind of settle down actually and pass out more or less in that clearing where you were.
Excellent.
Okay, you all continue throughout the afternoon. Right about mid-afternoon, you come into a small glade, and you spot on one of the trees that there is a squirrel that looks like it's been impaled with an arrow.
Mm.
I didn't do it. Just in case anybody was thinking.
Could that mean, is anybody familiar with something that would cause someone to do this? Sometimes in villages in England, there will be some sort of superstition that leads someone to do such horrible things.
Well, whatever it is, Jane, it's nothing good. A hunter would kill a squirrel and skin it and eat it for food. But it takes someone with bad intentions to leave a living animal to die and for others to find.
Like maybe a witch.
It might be a warning.
Hmm.
Something yeah, it could be a message of some kind for someone, or it just could be something to scare people off, like, you know, putting a sign out in front of your property that says, beware of the dog.
Do you suppose it means we might be getting close to the Witch of the Wood, or that it means that we should be wary of something dangerous?
We should, either way, we should be wary, whether it's the witch or somebody else.
Cautiously optimistic. It's in our way. We got to keep going.
And I agree, but I think we might want to investigate just briefly.
I was going to say, can someone
I'll do an investigation.
or whatever? What's going on?
Yeah, investigation to start with.
Okay.
I've got 2. What do you?
Yeah.
Huh?
2.
Everybody has 2?
Yeah.
James has
I have
quite
5.
a lot higher.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'll do one too.
You could both
Yeah,
do one.
right,
You might
do
find different information.
19.
Okay.
Woo!
How would I find different information? She's got
Do
that.
You
it.
can roll higher than I do.
That one. 4.
That's a 9. 11.
Love it. Okay. So Jean-Luc, you find without any difficulty, it doesn't look like there's any blood on anything. There's no blood on the arrow. There's no blood on the squirrel anywhere. It's fairly unusual to have something impaled without any blood. Jane, on further inspection, you notice that the squirrel is breathing.
Oh dear. Claire, the poor creature is still alive. If I were to free it, do you think you might be able to do something for it?
I think I can at this point.
I've also got 4 for medicine, so I might be able to help as well. So
Yeah.
I'm going to try to free it.
Okay. What do you mean by free it?
I'm going to try to see if I can get the arrow out
Okay.
and or break off the shaft of the arrow and then pull the squirrel off
Okay.
that way, whichever seems to be like it would be less
Yeah.
harmful.
Okay, great. Yeah, so you can kind of pull the arrow out of the tree and then snap the arrow and slide the squirrel off of it. Okay, as soon as you pull it free of the arrow, it kind of like jolts as if it was asleep and it just woke up and chitters at you and hops off your hand and scampers into the forest.
Well, that was unexpected.
Well, okay then.
Do you suppose it could have been a magical creature?
Yep.
Or it could have been a magical arrow.
I suppose that's possible as well.
Huh.
Should we try to follow it?
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
oh, hell no.
Oh, no.
I'm for it.
Lorelai and I are in agreement here.
No,
Yeah.
we're,
Is it going in the direction of the witch?
Where is it going?
It did scamper in that general direction, yes.
well, I mean, we're going that way. We're going that way anyway. That's fine, but we need to keep heading for the witches.
Yeah.
Proceed cautiously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As we go on, I'm going to try to keep an eye out for
Okay.
the squirrel.
Give me a perception check.
That was a nat 1.
Okay, yeah.
5.
You lose track of the squirrel.
Cool.
You guys go for just another hour, and then you see a thin trail of smoke in the direction that you're headed. And as you get closer, you see that there is a hedge of about 10 feet high, more or less circular, a pretty large area must be enclosed within this hedge. There is an archway in the hedge, and looking through the archway, you see a relatively small little wood cottage with a chimney, stone chimney, a little curl of smoke coming up from it, little vegetable garden planted in the front. Seems like someone's living out here.
It occurs to me that Lorelai has the best, was it speech?
Persuasion?
Maybe charisma or something.
Persuasion.
John Luke's pretty good too.
Yeah, but she's got a better one because she's better with the kids. I think it's persuasion.
Persuasion, yeah.
So who wants to go up and knock on the door? I will gladly do it.
I'll stand right behind you in case you scare them and we think we need to to be more convincing or something.
That's a deal, Lorelai.
All right, good.
Okay, so you guys head up. Jean-Luc, you knock on the door. Okay. After not too long, the door opens and you see a very strange looking woman. She's got fairly dark skin and odd pointy ears. Her hair's arranged in a unusual, I don't think any of you have seen a hairstyle like this, unusual way. She kind of looks you up and down, and she's kind of got the door half open, half closed, and says, yes, hello.
I would say, hello, madam.
Well, hello to you, sir.
Quick, I rushed into this.
Okay, Jean-Luc, introduce us.
I have a friend who has a better idea of why we're here. Lorelai.
Hi. Why are we here again?
We have to figure out if she knows anything about, the poison and who would have used it, or if anybody talked to her.
Right.
There's lots of questions.
So my name is Lorelai, and this is Jean-Luc, and these are my friends Jane and Claire, and we are investigating a murder in the town of Hamlet, and we have discerned that poison may have been used, and we thought that you might be able to help us figure out what was going on, or give us some information about it. Would you be willing to talk to us?
Oh dear, yes. My name is Sarah Lindra. I suppose those ignorant Hamleters told you that I was a witch. I'm not a witch. I just like living out here in the wood. But certainly, come in, have some tea.
Great.
Oh,
Come on, everybody.
Jane just, this is her kind of person. She's like, oh, lives out in the countryside, offers her guests tea right off. Awesome. We made the right decision.
And
People think she's a
Jean-Luc
witch, but she really isn't.
No, that's more of a Susan thing.
Totally.
Jean-Luc
Cool.
is, oh wait, actually, what's the thing you can roll to figure out if somebody's being sincere or not?
Insight, yeah.
Insight. Oh, I've got +4 insight. Let me just roll some insight on her real quick.
Roll some insight.
No, I mean,
Get it. Oh, lots of insight.
22.
22, okay. Sarah Lindra is a little bit surprised to encounter you. Was a little bit shocked to hear about a murder. Is somewhat mystified by your appearance, but seems like a pleasant young woman. She ushers you into the little wood cottage. There's a room with a table and kind of a kitchen area, a stove. There's a fireplace at one end. There is a man sitting in a chair. He's reading a book, and he kind of glances up briefly, nods, and goes back to reading. Sarah Lindra says, "Oh, don't mind. Don't mind Joran. He just enjoys reading and doesn't like company much. But please sit." You all sit. Sarah Lindra pours tea all around, and she sits down and grabs her tea as well and says, "Now, tell me about this poison."
I had a flask of it. Is there enough left after Claire and I did our analysis?
Yeah, there's plenty.
Okay, I produce the flask and say, we did what we could to try to identify what might have been used as a poison for poor Charlie. We determined that it's some type of alkaloid, but we're not sure exactly what kind. I have some here if you would like to do what you can with it to determine anything that we couldn't find. And Claire here is a healer as well, so she was able to look and do what she could as well.
Oh yes, wonderful. Here, have a look. She takes the flask from you, opens it up, holds it under her nose, kind of inhales for a moment, closes her eyes, puts the cap back, hands it back to you. Oh, it's very strange. It's monk's bane. It's odd because the only ones that I know who know how to make monk's bane are the goblins of the One Ear tribe.
Oh, crap.
Whoever got it must have got it from them. I can give you directions to their cave. It's south of here, but you should certainly rest before you go on. I'm happy to have you sleep on the floor. I can provide warmth and dinner as well. And Tippy here, and you guys see the squirrel. All squirrels look alike to you, but she says, Tippy here says that you rescued him. And so I'd be more than willing to help you however I can.
Well,
Bring a little peep bow like Tippy Toe?
No, but it is Tippy Toe.
okay. So I think we all share a glance that we're all generally in agreement, to see if we're all generally in agreement, rather. Are we, that we would stay, accept her offer, and then go?
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
It sounds good to me.
And could I ask her a question before we rest?
Absolutely.
Sarah Lindra, what exactly do you know about the one-eared goblin tribe?
Oh, well, you know, they're goblins, so they're a little bit unpleasant sorts, but they're not particularly violent. They're a little bit territorial. They're not accustomed to having visitors, but if you bring them some tribute, they'll probably be willing to talk to you or listen to you. They generally leave me alone. I leave them alone. They live in a cave south of here. They know the caves, and sometimes I think they go into the Gray Peaks. Obviously, the Homleters don't like them, and the goblins don't like the Homleters. So every now and then, if they encounter a forester, there might be a fight. They rarely eat people.
Oh.
Well, that's.
I think it would be probably a good idea, Jean-Luc, if we explain to, what's her name?
Sarah Lindra?
Sarah Lindra.
Sarah, explain to Sarah Lindra the experience that we had.
I agree. And before we do, just one more question, Sarah Lindra. You mentioned that if one brought tribute, they would be more than happy to speak with you. What about trade? Do they happen to, are you aware if they trade anything with humans, especially those from Hamlet?
Yeah, they certainly treasure you know, coins and trinkets and those sorts of things that they'll occasionally trade with. They don't have a, you know, thriving economy per se. It's mostly barter.
Okay, and then I think Lorelei, we explain what happened.
Yeah, I
Without
agree.
going into detail, we just do it.
With Goddick and the gnomes and Tippy and everything.
I'd say so.
Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you know, about finding and him wanting to be a part of the One-Ear tribe, and that we, you know, we weren't sure, but then we helped him, and then he helped us, and you know, let her know what happened, to see if she has any insight about that.
Got it. Yeah, she kind of nods knowingly, says, yeah, the One-Ear tribe, when their boys desire to be men, they go out into the world to lose an ear. And the more dangerous and brave the loss is, the more remarkable it is. I believe their tribe lost his to a bear swiping it off. This poor fellow, at least he didn't claw it off himself, which some of them will do. So So it's their ritual of manhood. And it's promising that you helped him. He'll probably carry good word back to the tribe. So if you're able to spot him when you visit, it's likely that he will vouch for you, and that might make it easier to talk to them.
I'm going to remind Claire that she has the mushrooms that Godok gave her. And
Oh.
if she wants to suggest that she show them to Sarah Lindra to find out either
Very
if
good
this-
idea.
this is significant in some way or what the mushrooms are.
Yeah, I want to talk to her about the mushrooms and more about monk's bane. I want to know more about it.
Okay. Yeah, you show her the mushrooms. She reaches out. May I?
Of course, please.
Okay. She immediately pops them in her mouth. She's like, "Oh, it's so buttery. It's so buttery. These are good. This goblin knows his woodscraft at least enough to forage for good mushrooms."
Okay, so not poisonous.
So
And then you also were
I want to
asking
know about the monk's bane.
Yeah, monk's bane. Yeah, I don't know very much about it, to be honest. Again, the one-ear tribe are the only ones that I know that make it. It is not an entirely natural poison. I believe that there is some magical influence, but again, I don't know about the crafting of it. In terms of its effects, it has relatively quick effects. It obviously dissolves into liquids fairly well. And I believe that it causes death by asphyxiation.
And Sarah Lindra, do you have any other questions about
No, go right ahead.
Sarah Lindra, just one other thing. We may have mentioned to you earlier the two dwarvish fellows we came across speaking gibberish who were 7 sheets to the wind. Have you encountered them before? Do you know anything about them?
Oh, indeed. Yeah, that's T and Yik.
Tea and Yik.
T and Yik.
Tea and Yik.
Yeah, they routinely they have some, they're actually gnomes. They have some way of finding distillable sugars in the forest, and then they set up a portable still, and then they wander drunkenly about the forest. They're relatively harmless. I try to look out for them when I can. If you ever encounter them, if you just gibber along with them, that keeps them entertained pretty well, and they'll be waiting to share their spirit with you.
Oh, lovely.
There's spirit, as in the spirit.
The moonshine.
Yes, whatever they made that day, it differs depending on what fermentables they find.
Yeah.
I still don't see how that helps us, but it's
Oh,
good to know.
lively.
I mean, how they could help us.
Yeah, it sounds like you had quite a momentous journey through the wood.
yes, we do, and we're very tired. We're very glad to be
Yes.
here, and you're welcoming
Oh.
home.
Well, I'm more than happy to put you up. Let me make dinner for you all and Joran, and we can sit around and trade tales by the fire.
That would be
Do you need any help?
Oh yes, please.
Yeah.
You help her as Lorelai, as you're bustling around in the kitchen. You spot a coffee making device, but don't spot any coffee. And you ask Sarah Linder about it. She says that there's a tree bark that she distills to make a caffeinated beverage, which she offers to give you.
Oh, Lorelai's all about that.
So she shares some of her claw with you, and it's kind of bitter and a little bit unpleasant, but it's definitely a good caffeine source.
Oh yeah, that's fine for Lorelai. That's just her. That's just her type. That's just how she drinks it.
What is
Nice.
claw?
Claw.
Claw?
Put it in the chat.
Yep.
Um,
AIH.
Claire's also at this point gonna try to like, oh geez, I pushed the wrong
What have
button.
you done?
Try to get it down. She's also gonna try to schmooze with Sarah Lindra because she wants to, like, you know, would you look at my herbalist kit? I'd love to know more about
Sure.
all the plants and foliage around here, and please teach me.
Okay, great. Yeah, you guys chit chat a little bit. She shares some specific plants and herbs that are native to the area around Hamlet and the Deepning Wood, as well as the Gray Peaks. She gives you kind of some tips about common dangerous things to look out for. She does advise you that there are creatures made of plants and animate trees and whatnot that can be quite dangerous, so to keep an eye out for that. And yeah, you guys pass and have a very nice time. So overnight, everybody heals back up to their full. So Jean-Luc, you're back up to 11. Everybody gets their spell slots back, Claire and Jane. And in the morning, Sarah Linder also gives each of you, she hands you a little vial, little ceramic vial with a stopper on it, and says, this, if you get into trouble again, this will help heal some of your wounds. So under equipment, everybody can add a healing potion.
What do we do? Do we drink it?
Yes. In the morning, Lorelei, Sarah Linder makes you a couple of pots of claw to satisfy your caffeine desire. She makes a nice little potatoes and onions and green peppers mash, and gets you all filled up, and points you in the direction of the One Ear tribe. She says it'll be about 3 hours walk to their cave.
Okay.
And you guys head back out into the Deepning Wood. You progress through the forest. Don't really encounter anything remarkable, and you come up to basically she directed you to where the forest intersects with the Gray Peaks. So this is kind of the foothills, the kind of rocky parts of the mountain before it starts going up into the higher heights. And she pointed you to a cave entrance, which you all spot. You see that there are two little goblins on guard duty, basically outside of this cave. The cave entrance is about 20 feet high and about 30 feet wide. It's a pretty massive hole in the side of a cliff here that delves further deeper. So you guys approach. You kind of spot the guards, but before they spot you. So how do you want to approach them?
I think
boy.
I'm going to suggest that I cast Comprehend Languages again, and that we come out and that we approach them very non-threateningly, and that I say right away, we're friends of Godok, and we just have some questions.
But you won't go out alone, you won't.
I know not. That's very kind of you, Captain Picard. I didn't intend to do anything alone. I'm quite aware of my abilities, let's say.
Oh. She's the one who saved him.
I know.
Okay, so you cast Comprehend Languages and you guys walk out in front of them. Okay. The guards immediately come on alert. They've got spears that they kind of lower in your direction. And Jane, you cast Comprehend Languages, and then you tell them your friends of Godok. Okay. They ease a little bit. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check with advantage if Jean-Luc and Lorelei are kind of making appeasing gestures as best they can to help you.
You said persuasion?
Yep. So you guys don't need to roll, but you're helping Jane.
I thought
14.
Okay, with advantage?
Oh, advantage, right. No, 14 was the higher one.
Okay. Okay. So one of the guards disappears into the cave. They emerge a couple minutes later with 4 more guards. And this guard trundles up to you and says, "Me blocks. I take you to Glet and Jetty."
Is Glet Jethy a person or a place?
Glet is chieftain and Jethy is shaman.
Yes, let's
Yes.
go.
Right.
Oh,
All right, well, thank you.
Okay, Blocks leads you into the cavern complex. The cave gets relatively small pretty quickly, and the height of the cave is consistently pretty short, very much goblin size and not human size. So you all are kind of having to duck and mind your head pretty routinely as Blocks leads you through this kind of winding network of caves, and eventually emerges into a larger cave that's about 40-foot diameter, kind of bubble in the earth here, and you see a male and female goblin sitting on these wooden thrones is probably the best word for them, even though they're relatively primitive in construction. You also see Goddic over here, and he rushes up to you, Claire, and hands you something.
oh, thanks, Goddic. Hey, friend.
It is a shard of obsidian, and it feels oddly but comfortingly warm to the touch.
Oh, what, Jane, can you ask him what's in here?
Oh, Claire's very pleased that you've given her a gift, Goddoc. What is it exactly?
It's my best pretty.
His best pretty. It sounds to me as though you've been highly favored, Claire.
He
Well
likes you, Claire.
Okay, I'm gonna look in it, but I'm scared.
Yeah, it's this little 2-inch shard of obsidian. It's like a little trinket.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And it's odd because it feels warm when you touch it.
Okay. Can you ask him what I should do with it?
Could you? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I find it a tactful way to say something like,
What does this do?
what does it do? Yeah.
Okay. It's
Really
cool.
cool. It's very cool. Thank you.
So maybe it's like a jewel.
Oh,
Maybe
It might be a jewel, or it might actually have some kind of magical properties that we'll maybe look at
maybe
more
he does.
closely.
Maybe he doesn't even know.
Yeah, well, I imagine we'll look at it more closely once we can do so without seeming rude.
The male goblin sitting in the chair looks at you and addresses you in English,
excellent.
so you all can understand. He says, "I am called Glet. Sorry, I am called Glet. Who you? Goddic says you saved him, helped him get his ear."
Well,
Yes,
we
yes,
helped him
we did.
lose his ear.
Well,
And we helped him save his leg because
yes.
he was trapped. And he helped us in turn.
Jethy, the female, speaks up, says, "What brings you to our tribe?"
An investigation.
Yes, we're investigating a murder that happened, and I'm afraid if we should mention Hamlet now. Jean-Luc, what do you think? Should we mention Hamlet? We're not sure they're so fond of Hamlet.
We just say an acquaintance of ours was killed,
Mm-hmm.
and we suspect Monksbane.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you hear that? You hear kind of the susurrus whisper amongst all the goblins when you say that. Glet scowls, says, "Oh, the Bane is our greatest treasure. We sold some to a human some fortnight ago."
Mm.
Do you recall
Yeah.
which human?
Glet says, "Oh, all humans look the same, but he had some rough scars on his hands and a stooped back."
Okay.
Was he alone?
Just the one human.
Hmm.
Does that description match anybody that we spoke to or know of in Hamlet?
If you don't have notes on it, then
Then
you
no.
don't know.
All
Yep.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Could you
that
please describe him again?
rough scars on his hands and a stooped back.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and they won't give us any more description, right? Like that's it.
Just looked like human. He asked about green gems. We find some green gems in the Gray Peaks. Sometimes green gems show up and then strange people like you show up.
Hmm.
You know, he could be
Hmm.
talking about Charlie.
Well,
I'm trying to remember, wasn't there somebody who had some kind of scars? Or maybe, okay, I don't remember clearly enough.
Me either. This is
I don't think
should
so.
taking notes last time.
Do you think, does he know if it's male or female, or does he really like do even those humans? have the
Oh
same
no,
thing?
yeah, human male. It was a guy.
Human male, scarred hands and a
Stooped back,
stooped back. Okay.
asking about green gems as well as the monk's bane.
It might be wise of us to go back to Hamlet. I say quietly so no one can hear.
With this
but
information.
only to the four of us, and determine whether that fits Charlie's description, or even his friend who was not at home, whoever his name was. I forgot his name. But we went over to his house, remember?
Mm-hmm.
His drinking buddy, Danny.
The drinking buddy, the
The other friend who had
Yeah,
the
there was
kid.
Danny, there, so the people I remember us talking to are
well, that's Connor.
Connor, you're right.
Connor,
That's what I'm
yeah.
trying to remember,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, you have not talked to Connor yet.
Yeah,
Well, what did he give you in return?
Oh, Glet turns and he gives a command in Goblin, which you understand, which is Bleg, go get the best net. And Bleg disappears. A minute later, he comes back. Bleg has a definitely human crafted fishing net. Reasonably, not like a mastercraft, net, but a pretty well created net. And Glet looks at it and smiles. Makes fishing the streams much easier.
Oh.
I do believe that that Danny was either he was at Charlie's house because they were going to go fishing, or they would go fishing together pretty regularly, or
Yeah.
something.
So we at least know that the two of them fish
Could have done it, made it.
could have.
No,
With Connor,
we don't know anything about Connor yet, but he's a woodsman. I mean, he has to have skills like that.
But Hamlet is on.
Yes, it's
ocean.
on the coast, and it relies on fishing pretty substantially.
So it could have been any.
So yeah, even if it wasn't someone who fishes regularly, they probably could have gotten the net pretty easily.
Yep.
They're probably just around.
Does this person come up like routinely?
Never seen him before.
Yes.
Hmm.
They gave him the monk's bane.
Hmm.
We know what monk's bane does.
Mhm.
Well, what else is there to ask? I don't know. Did he say why he needed the monk's bane?
No, but he asked about green gems.
Jack.
What do
Is he
you
connected?
What do you use the green gems for?
We don't have any green gems here.
They're just
But he thought you might have green gems.
He asked. They sometimes show up in the Gray Peaks.
Which is very possibly what Charlie was after
Mm-hmm.
or had.
or had.
Did we know, I know we talked about going to the Witch of the Woods and or where Connor Burns had led Charlie. Do
Uh-huh.
we know where that was?
Or did the kid have to lead us?
Yeah, the kid was going to lead you potentially into the Gray Peaks,
Gotcha, okay.
like Charlie's son.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Ernie said, "Oh yeah, I could take you where like Dad, used to take me," sort of thing. You don't really know what Charlie went into the woods for, but Yeah,
Oh.
it was, yeah, you don't really know.
We do know that he did go somewhere with Ernie.
Yeah, when Ernie was younger.
We
Yeah.
don't
He
necessarily
was
know
younger.
when he was younger.
Now, we were told that Connor just went into the forest, right? We can't
Right.
really know him.
Yeah, he's a forester. You don't have any sense that he would go into the mountains, but you don't have any sense that he wouldn't. You know, if you paid him enough, probably he'd be willing to do it.
Well, I think we're done here.
So it sounds as though we need to, one way or another, we need to go back to Hamlet, both to see if anybody matching the description of someone of the person who bought Monksbane. And then possibly to talk to Ernie or Connor.
I would say so.
We could easily host a little, like, sit out at the bar again and have the people come to us and figure out who has a lot of scars on their hands.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
And find out who makes fishing nets.
If there's, yeah, that might be a long list, but we could try. Yeah,
Just a thought.
yeah.
Cool. All right, that sounds good. Are you guys going to go buy Sarah Lindra's on your way back, or just head straight to Hamlet?
I think so.
Okay, go and have a nice little lunch with her, and then head home.
Yeah, and if we can ask her if she knows anything about the green gems.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
About what?
The
Green gems.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell her what we found out. She's supposed to be an ally.
These are Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yeah, that's a good question. So Sarah Lindra says that she's heard of the green gems, but she doesn't know very much about them. She does know that people sometimes appear in Hamlet, just like you have, and there seems to be a coincidence between people finding the green gems and people showing up in Hamlet.
Okay.
So it's possible that the green gems might be responsible for all of us arriving here?
Yeah, all she knows is that there's a temporal relationship with those two phenomenon.
Interesting.
Correlation, not causation. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, gems are what got Claire around in different times. So that sort of drops her stomach to the floor.
Oh,
Mhm.
All right, great. You guys make it safely back to Hamlet, and having survived that adventure, you all progress to second level.
Woo!
fantastic. What does that mean?
So I can do the actual technicalities of your character advancement. So the decisions that I need you all to make are a little different for each of you. Okay, so for Jean-Luc, you get a one of 4 options for a fighting style. You could have defense, which gives you a bonus to your armor class and makes it harder for you to hit. You could have realistic. There are 4 options, but realistically there are 2 for you. Or you could have protection. When you see a creature, or when a creature you can see attacks a target other than you within 5 feet of you, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll. So basically this is if you're standing next to someone and they get attacked, you can make it harder for that person next to you to get attacked.
Yeah, I'll take that. I've already got a higher.
Okay.
armor class, so.
That seems thematically consistent.
Yes, that's what I thought too.
And then Lorelei, I'm pretty sure it's third level. Okay, so second level, you just get more capabilities. That's fine. And then wizard, you have to choose your arcane tradition. So this is, you remember how Adine was a diviner?
Uh-huh.
So the options are abjuration, which is like defensive magic.
Okay.
Conjuration, which is conjuring things. Divination, which allows you to kind of see the future and that kind of thing. Enchantment, which allows you to kind of charm people. Evocation is blowing stuff up. Illusion is like it says. Necromancy is raising stuff from the dead. Transmutation is changing something into something else.
Do you need me to decide now?
No,
or-
you can think
okay.
about it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm thinking probably divination,
Seems
but there's some other options. So
Cool.
yeah, you can think about it.
Cool.
Yeah, so I will, you guys all get more hit points as you level up, and some other features, which I'll put on your character sheets and we can talk about before the next game.
Yay.
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 Well, this was fun.
That was fun.
Well,
Well, yeah.